This tree is a maple, field maple, Acer campestre, and I am going to defoliate this tree today. And I am going to remove all of the leaves on this tree. Why am I doing this procedure and why are we utilizing the defoliation technique in bonsai? I am going to explain all of the details about the defoliation. Which species can we defoliate? Why do we defoliate? When do we defoliate? And what do we expect when we defoliate a tree, a deciduous tree? This one is an Acer and it's a deciduous tree. And as you see, it has already completed its basic rules as a bonsai. It has a very thick trunk and it has a good nebari, and I know that this pot is full of fine roots, which means this tree is strong enough to endure such a procedure such as defoliation. And as you see, it is growing very strongly because I know very long shoots means that it has too much energy that lets the tree to extend further to collect more sunlight in order to photosynthesize and produce more sugar, and the sugar means energy for the tree, and by this way the tree is going to produce more sugar, which lets more growing on the tree. We know that all of the trees in the nature are trying to become the largest one, the biggest one, and this one is also trying to biggest tree in this bonsai pot. But the thing that this tree doesn't know is that it is in a pot, and it thinks that it has all of its fine roots are free. But as a bonsai artist, as a bonsai professional, I know that this tree is in a bonsai pot and all of the fine roots are in a limited container, and this means that they don't have enough space to grow freely. And after some time, this tree will stop to grow because these roots are going to produce enough water for all of the leaves above the soil line. But the thing that the tree doesn't know is that all of the fine roots are compacted together in a container, which is very fragile in terms of the weather conditions or other conditions that can affect the tree. For example, think of a fungal disease. If one part of the root system attacked by a fungal disease, all of the root system can be affected with this fungal disease because there's a limited environment. Another thing is that the tree thinks that it can produce enough water for all of the leaves with this amount of fine roots in this pot. Because in the summertime, all of the roots are in the soil. They are free to grow anywhere there is water, and that they can absorb the water and transfer the water to the leaves, and the leaves transpire all of the water in order to adjust their inner temperature. Also, they photosynthesize, they produce sugar, and they continue to live with the energy source from the sugar. But as a bonsai, this fine root system is going to have to survive a different condition than the trees live in the nature. When the temperature hits like 40 centigrade degrees, the temperature of this pot is going to hit the 50 centigrade degrees. This means that all of the fine roots here cannot be available to transfer enough water to all of the leaves over here. So we have to remove some of the leaves of this tree because we want this amount of fine root system transfer enough water to all of the leaves, and that they survive the extreme summer conditions, summer temperatures. And after summer, they are going to grow again, and in the fall, they will stop growing. In the beginning of the winter, they are going to shed all of their leaves, and they are going to become naked. For this reason, we can partially defoliate our trees to prepare them to summertime. But I am going to make a full defoliation today, and there's another reason that I'm doing this. We are still in the growing season. It is like middle of June today, and I know that there are at least 3 weeks growing season to end. And I know that there's a balance established on this tree in terms of hormones, especially growing hormones like auxin. And as you see, these growing parts have more auxin hormone, which lets this part to grow further, and the inner parts cannot break buds because of this auxin hormone at the tip or at the outer part of the tree. For that reason, I'm going to destroy this hormone balance on the tree, and I'm going to remove all of the leaves, and I am also going to prune the long shoots like this. What will happen is that the tree is going to push new growth from all of the inactive buds at the base of the leaves. So I am going to have more branches with this tree, and it is going to create a better ramification. Remember that we want a compacted tree as a bonsai, and the major things that we are seeking in a bonsai is a thick trunk and a well ramified thick branches, good nebari, and a good root system. As I mentioned, I created a fine root system here, which is very dense and very good. Also, I have a good nebari here. I have a very thick trunk. I also have thick main branches. Right now, I need more ramification on this tree. For that reason, I'm going to defoliate all of the leaves. And what will happen is that the tree in this limited container is going to push a new growth because all of the energy panels are destroyed and it is still in the growing season. With the amount of energy that remained in the trunk, in the cells, in the branches, the tree is going to push a new growth. And the new growth will be very small internodes, very small shoots. And we are going to get more branches from all of the leaf bases. And this means that if I have like 10 branches right now, I am going to have at least 50 branches after the defoliation and after that growing. Another thing is that the pot is still the same pot. So the roots cannot grow any further, and the new shoots are going to be automatically small, and the new leaves are going to be small. Getting small leaf is not our objective to defoliate a deciduous tree. Small leaves is the final result of getting a very dense ramification, because in this limited container it has to transfer enough water to all of the shoots, all of the leaves, and the amount of roots are limited, so the amount of water being transferred in this trunk and in the branches are also limited. This means that the energy reaching all of the buds, all of the shoots, all of the leaves are limited too. So the tree says itself that I have this amount of root and I have too many branches, and all of the branches have some leaves. So I cannot grow all the leaves too much. I cannot grow these branches too much because I have limited energy, and I want all of my branches have some leaves, and I want all of those leaves operate well to photosynthesize and to produce sugar, and then I can keep myself healthy and strong again. As a result, with this kind of dense ramification, we are going to see very small leaves in this tree. But this is not our main objective. The main objective here is to let the tree ramify better, to produce new branches with very small, very short internodes and very small leaves. We do the defoliation in the last part of growing season. So I have like 3 or 4 weeks and I can do it right now. But if you don't trust your technique, or if you don't trust your knowledge, or if you don't trust your tree, if you don't know your tree is strong enough to endure such a procedure, you can do a partial defoliation, which is removing 1 or 2 leaves in every node. Or you can half defoliate a tree. So you can choose the main branches over here, you can defoliate all of them, and after 2 weeks, when you see new growth on this side, you can defoliate the other part of the tree. But you have to start this procedure earlier than I am doing today, because you need more time frame to let the tree grow after all of this defoliation operation. I generally apply this defoliation technique to my deciduous trees. I apply this to Japanese maples, trident maples, these field maples. I also apply this to elms. I also apply this technique to beech or hornbeams or hawthorns. So with this technique and with this species, I can get more ramification from these trees, and this is a perfect procedure if you know how to do that. I repotted this tree last year, so this year I didn't do any repotting. It means that it still has too much fine roots here, and that this will create the strength that the tree needs after the defoliation. I also gave fertilizer this tree for 3 months, starting from the beginning of the spring this year, and I removed all of the fertilizers like 2 weeks ago, because I don't want any more nitrogen in the soil system that will produce longer internodes, bigger leaves, and stronger shoots like this. I want the tree has the balance of growing, the energy flow. Also, I want all of the shoots have the smallest internode. With having all of these things, we are going to get very small leaves. We can also defoliate the trees that we are going to exhibit in the fall with the perfect fall colors of the maples. When we defoliate the tree is growing new leaves, which is younger than the leaves that has already been growing since the beginning of the spring. So the new leaves have better fall colors. So if you want to exhibit your tree in the fall with the fall colors, the very beautiful fall colors, you may defoliate your tree to get the new leaves with the very good fall colors in the fall. Right now my objective is to have better ramification with this tree. Also I am going to prune this tree, and with pruning and defoliation I am going to establish a new balance, and I want every branch has the same energy flow balance, but I may choose some branches at the below part and I may let them grow further because I need thicker branches near the base, and I need thinner branches when I go up and out of the tree. After defoliating this tree, I'm going to apply insecticides, fungicides and acaricides because I know their leaves are easily burnt. So at that moment, without all of the leaves, I can easily apply insecticides to my maples. Okay, let's start. Before starting to defoliate this tree, I am analyzing the branches, and as you see, there are very strong branches very near to the base of the trunk, but there are also very strong branches at the top. I need the strong branches at the lower parts of the tree because I want the main branches at the lowest part of the tree become stronger and thicker, and after some time when I hit the thickening level that I desire, I am going to establish a new growing balance, new energy balance all along the tree. But right now, as you see, this branch is stronger and the top branches are stronger. I don't want any of the top branches like these are getting strong like this, because when they get this strong, they are accumulating more energy, they are sucking more water from the root system, they are making other lower branches become weaker, and the main branches strong like this are thickening faster than the lower branches, and this destroys the shape that I desire in a bonsai. I want the main branches near the base of the trunk are thicker than the branches at the top. Before defoliating, I am going to shorten all of the strong branches like this, and after that I am going to start the defoliating from the top to the lower part, and at the lower portion of the tree I am going to decide to defoliate or not. I may not defoliate this lower branch and this lower branch, I haven't decided yet, but surely I am going to prune and defoliate all of the top parts of this tree because they are strong and they are dense, and I want the energy directs to the lower parts, and also I want everything ramified better on this tree. I have finished the defoliation on this maple, and as you see, some branches still have some leaves because I want that branches to continue to get enough energy to get more strength and more thickening. I mostly defoliate the upper parts of the tree, but still I have some shoots over here that has very small tiny leaves. I didn't touch any of these leaves because I want that shoots stay alive and that they can become branches, and that they will also be a part of the ramification on this tree. There are two branches over here, they are very thin. Also there is a very thin branch at the lowest part of the tree. I didn't touch any of the leaves over here, but I only pruned the leaves that may cast a shadow to the lower branches, and I pruned those leaves, and I left the leaves at the tip because these leaves are going to continue to suck water, so it means that they will still get energy to this branch, and all of the buds on this branch are going to utilize that energy flow, and they are going to be fat, and that they will grow strongly again. There are two branches like this at the same location. I am going to wire them. I am going to remove some of the wires at the top parts because they started to bite into the branch. I am not going to touch any of the leaves of the lower part here because I want these shoots, not the main branch, these shoots stay strong and that they become a good branch which will ramify easily when they get enough strength in them. Right now I am not going to fertilize this tree. I am going to leave this tree at the same spot which takes full sunlight, but I'm reducing the sunlight by 30% with the cover sheet, and I know that this tree is strong enough to produce new shoots from all of these defoliated parts, defoliated buds, and all of the buds are going to get more auxin hormone, and they are going to become good branches, and it will create a better ramification with this tree.